sailboats are out. The kayaks are going across the bay to Center Island, and it is a spectacular night for baseball. The roof at Rogers Center is wide open. Game 2 of a 3-game set. Pittsburgh Pirates in town. They snapped a 13-game losing streak in interleague play on the road last night as they won a 7-6 ball game. Pirates out-hit the Blue Jays 12-9 in last night's game. Presley hitting top of the order, hit his first major league home run in last night's game. Darno Jones moves up from the 7th spot. Andrew McCutchen had a home run. Neil Walker, big RBI guy at second base, former Blue Jay Lyle over. Xavier Paul gets a start in right field tonight. Ronnie Cedeno and Eric Fryer will be back behind the plate.
That is the lineup that Brandon Morrow takes to the mound for his 13th start as he gets ready for his last start in the month of June. And it's been a good month as we have seen some improvement from Brandon Morrow. 3-4 with a .490 earned run average. The month of June, he's fewer hits per innings pitched, a strikeout per innings he has averaged, and he's shown better command, 3 times as many strikeouts as walks in the month of June, and that's always a good sign. Last time out against the Cardinals, he racked up 9 strikeouts and just 1 walk.
Seems to be adjusting very well to that new grip on his changeup. It's at another dimension. He has got a better separation between his fastball and his change. First pitch fastball is outside. We are underway here at Rogers Center. Jose Molina back behind the plate catching Morrow. Alex Presley, we mentioned his first major league home run in last night's game, came in the 3rd inning.
That was the first home run by a Pirate leadoff batter since May the 18th. Andrew McCutchen did it in Cincinnati, but they have dropped him down now into an RBI spot, and they brought up this young kid, and he looked pretty good yesterday.
Got a little life in his body. Ball and a strike. Late on a fastball. Last night, batting in the 3rd inning. Long home run, a 2-run shot to the bullpen in right. What a thrill for a player to come on the road, and that was his first start since rejoining the ball club from AAA. You see Jose Molina touching that left shoulder. Just a reminder to Brandon Morrow to stay closed.
Stay closed, and what that will do, it will keep him over the rubber just a little bit longer and let his arm catch up to him so he can stay on top of that breaking ball.
Got him. Good hard cutter right in on his hands, and one subtle mechanical reminder gets Morrow right back where he wants to be.
Right where he needed to be. Defensively for the Blue Jays tonight, Rivera, Davis, and Thames with his 2nd game in right field. Escobar and Hill up the middle. Jose Bautista looked pretty good at 3rd base. A couple of balls that he used in last night's game. Lind and Jose Molina round out the defense, and there's Eric Thames out in the outfield early today working on his footwork.
Chase Dorneau, the 3rd baseman, 0 for 4 in last night's game. Chase Dorneau is the older brother of Travis Dorneau, who is playing at AA in the Blue Jays system at New Hampshire. Pretty talented family, very athletic, obviously. Dorneau Chase runs very well. Ball on a strike. Pirates are missing their regular 3rd baseman, Pedro Alvarez, who just now has begun to play in a rehab assignment in the minor leagues.
Very high draft pick was Pedro Alvarez. Had a home run year last year, a big home run year for a young player. They were really counting on his power at 3rd base. Pirates have some very interesting young players in their farm system.
There's a fly ball center field. Rajay Davis over in the gap gets there and makes the catch. 2 down.
Well, we have a minute. Let's take a look at the scouting report for Brandon Morrow, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. Early strikes. 16 of 21 first pitches for strikes his last time out against the St. Louis Cardinals. I like to call him the finisher. He's got a sharp breaking ball fastball too that he will pick up strikeouts. So finish off hitters with those good pitches. And his ERA is retreating, has gone down his last 2 starts, and Morrow just seems to be pitching with a lot more confidence his last few times out.
Garrett Jones, we Told you he was the DH. In fact, he is the right fielder tonight. Batting in the third spot. Ball is popped out of play. Xavier Paul, who was scheduled to start in right field, was a late scratch. We're just getting that information, so that's the reason for the change. Matt Diaz will be the DH. He will bat in Xavier Paul's spot in the 7th spot in the lineup. Two outs here in the first inning. Garrett Jones had an RBI in last night's game. Had an infield single that drove in a run. Good play by Lynn Morrow. A little bit late getting off the mound, but Lynn gets there and makes a fine defensive play. Adam Lynn no longer a factor at first base. You don't even think about him. He's done a great job making the adjustment. Coming from the outfield, the first takes away extra bases from Garrett Jones. Can be this comfortable. Yunel Escobar, Eric Thames, Jose Bautista will lead things off. Middle of the order, Lyndon Encarnacion and Aaron Hill. Edwin had 2 home runs in last night's game. 7th time he's had a multi-home run game in his career. Juan Rivera is in left. Jose Molina behind the plate, and Rajay Davis returns to center field.
Paul Maholm on the mound ended a personal 4-game losing streak his last time out by giving up just 1 run pitching into the 6th inning against a very good Boston Red Sox team. That was just his 4th win of the season. He sports a very good ERA at 3.21.
Paul Maholm in his 6th year in the Pirate organization. He got a 51-57 1-loss record for his career. He's won 3 of his last 4 decisions. Not overpowering. He will try to work the bottom of the zone and rely on his sinking fastball to get some ground ball outs.
That start against the Boston Red Sox, he pitched into the 6th inning, 103 pitches, so he was laboring. Just 54 strikes.
There's a little flare into center field. That'll get down in front of Andrew McCutchen. Escobar is headed for second. McCutchen's got a good arm to tag, and he is out. Yunel Escobar didn't get out of the box in very good shape, but then he saw McCutchen laying back on him and thought he could turn it on, and McCutchen throws him out. He's got 8 assists from center field.
Very good center fielder, McCutchen. You're right. He laid back on that, but didn't look like Escobar came out very quickly out of that batter's box. And with a good, strong, accurate throw from McCutchen, guns him down at second base.
Eric Thames gets jammed on the fastball. Escobar hits it and thinks it's going to be a little blooper, and then once he sees it bounce, turns it on going around first, but McCutchen's got a great arm. Walker puts a good tag on Escobar. Eric Thames doing a nice job in his second go-around with the Blue Jays. Had a single and a triple, 2 for 5 in last night's game.
Become a very good off-speed hitter. A lot of his extra base hits have been on breaking balls, and he'll get a lot of them tonight from Mahalam. He likes to bend over that breaking ball against left-handers.
Important aspect of Thames' approach is to stay to the big part of the diamond against the lefty. Count in his favor, 2-1. Just off the plate. Eric was getting some grief from his manager from a year ago, Louis Rivera, before the game, talking about that hand-to-hand fastball at 98. He said, "You got to hit that, man."
They didn't have fastballs like that in Double-A.
He struck out to end the ball game. There's a bouncing ball. Over, Bay. Soft toss to Mahalam just in time to get Eric. Jose Bautista, 24th home run, came in last night's ball game.
Two Batistas are better than one. It looks like Mini-Me, doesn't it?
It does look like Mini-Me. Young fan honoring Jose Bautista with the glasses and the beard. Well done. 2 outs. Bautista and Mahalam were teammates. Of course, Jose came over here in August of 2008. Mahalam made it to the Pirates in 2005.
He was telling me something interesting today about when he was with the Pirates, how they really wanted him to spread out and just shoot the ball the other way. How did you end up hitting 15 home runs one year and 16 home runs the other time when you're just trying to shoot the ball to the opposite field?
Just a preview of the power that he had.
Yeah, I think it's exactly right. He would hit mistakes. He would hit breaking balls for home runs. But now he can handle every pitch. He stays back, and he's really locked in on everything.
Count in his favor. You can bet he's got the green light. Off speed pitch, bottom of the zone. 3-1. Mahalam just turned 29 years old on June 25th. First round pick of the Pirates in 2003. Outside.
As Bautista makes his way down to first base, let's take a look at the defense for the Pirates. They've had 7 different players make their major league debut this season. A couple tonight. Chase Darno, one of those players who made his major league debut this year, along with Eric Fryer, the catcher. Alex Presley came up last year. He made his seasonal debut last night. Presley, McCutchen, and Jones in the outfield. Walker, Cedeno have been sensational up the middle. We all know about Lyle Overbay at first base.
Pirates have used 42 players this season. Adam Lynn looks at a first pitch fastball. Left-handers have hit better for an average against Mahalam. They've hit 250 for the season. Right-handers just 218. But he's not given up a home run to a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, all 6 of his home runs to the righties. He'll turn that ball over, making the righties try and reach for it.
Breaking ball, bounced at plate. Lynn's done a great job hitting left-handed pitching this year, and it has to do with going back to his old stance, standing more upright, not creating an awful lot of head movement. With that, he can see the ball, pick it up well, and drive it to the opposite power alley.
Well, he wasn't getting the barrel of the bat out in front last year. He was really wrapping the bat around his shoulders and behind his neck, and he just couldn't get free of that.
Hit hard, and that'll get through, go all the way into center field. Bautista makes a quick turn. He goes to third.
He's free of it now. That bat can come through the zone very quickly for Adam Lynn. Not a lot of extra movement. It's a very simple swing. Short, And right back through the middle. Bautista knows exactly how hard it is for a center fielder to go to his left to field that ball and try and get the runner at third base, so he moves up easily.
So Lynn has a 2-out base hit. The red hot Edwin Encarnacion steps in. 2 home runs in last night's game. Just missed hitting a 3rd home run when he fired out the deep center field. We have seen Edwin get on these tears where it doesn't make any difference who he's hitting against, lefty, righty, which team. He can hit anybody out of the ballpark.
In any ballpark. You know, it doesn't matter how deep it is to left field. He is certainly strong enough to reach the seats in any part of the ballpark. One thing that we have seen from him the last 10 days or so is he's tracking the ball a lot better. You can see him as he gets ready to swing. His hands are in a good spot. His head is down. Earlier this season, when the pitchers really started going up and away and out of the strike zone, and he kept fishing for it. Right now, he's laying off those pitches like that one right there.
Early in the season, he just wanted to get hits and get something going, and he was really swinging at everything. I mean, you could almost guarantee if he threw a ball down in the dirt, he was going to swing at it. Different story now.
Tracking it a lot better, staying on it, keeping his hands back.
Good eye. 3-1.
And that's being anxious. Earlier in the year, I think he wanted to get that first home run, and it just didn't come for a while for him. So the harder you try, the longer your swing gets, and the more frustrated you become.
2 outs, runners at the corners. Popped up right field. Garrett Jones over near the line makes the catch, and Mahalam gets out of the first. Blue Jays get 2 hits, strand a couple. Brandon Morrow. You look at the players that have made the AA All-Star team: Travis d'Ormeau, Adini Echeverria, Mike Medade, big first baseman, Moises Sierra coming out of the outfield, Henderson Alvarez just up to AA, and Joe Carino. Also, Jeremy Farrell of the Pittsburgh Pirates, John Farrell's son, the third baseman, made the AA All-Star team, and John found out about it last night. He was very pleased. Obviously, 24-year-old Jeremy Farrell hit .285 with 17 doubles and 5 home runs first half. Andrew McCutchen had a home run in last night's game. He's late on that Morrow fastball.
That New Hampshire team is loaded with prospects.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is.
And you know what? That's got to be kind of a wake-up call for Anthony Gose, who's having a great year but didn't make the All-Star team. A lot of his teammates are going to go play in the All-Star game. He's going to sit home and watch, and I bet you he gets some extra motivation from that.
Yeah, that's a good point. And, you know, it's not like he's like awful or anything like that. He's got 38 stolen bases, but he's hitting around 250. But a lot of prospects on that team heading into tonight's game. They are 46-29 in first place in the Eastern League.
McCutcheon swings and misses. The big strikeout to start the second. Speaking of Double-A, New Hampshire, Jesse Litch on a rehab assignment made another start. 5 innings, 2 hits, didn't walk a batter, struck out 6. That's a real positive step in the right direction for Litch.
Yeah, no walks and 6 strikeouts. His next start, they're going to move him up to AAA and give him a start, get him up to 90, 95 pitches, and then he should be ready right around the All-Star break or just after it to move back into the rotation.
Be interesting to see how they work that out. Bruce Walton and John Farrell, I'm sure, contemplating their options. Brett Cecil in the middle of Ricky Romero and Jojo Reyes. He will make a start tomorrow in his return to the big leagues. He had a chat with Brett about his season in AAA. What did you draw from that?
Well, the velocity is back for Cecil. He's throwing a little bit harder, but one of the things that I think he fell in love with that cutter a little bit too much, that he has gone back to using the more conventional changeup, slider, curveball to go along with his 4-seam fastball.
Strike 3 caught. Neil Walker is caught working back-to-back strikeouts here in the second.
One of the things that Morrow has done his last few starts is get ahead early and use the fastball. That time he just paints it on the outside corner for his 3rd strikeout of the night.
Lyle Overbay kind of rudely greeted here tonight at Rogers Center. Overbay did a pretty good job here for the Blue Jays. Always said he enjoyed his time here. Chose to test the free agent market and ended up with the Pirates. Overbay started his professional career with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Spent 5 seasons with the Blue Jays. Last year he ended up with a 20 home run season. And he's in a hole. And Morrow's in a groove.
Yeah, he's in a groove using that fastball. Work ahead, and then later on you have the ability to make a pitcher's pitch. Instead of getting them to fish after it, you can make a pitch and get them out.
Tempting to call strike 3 with that pitch. 96 down and away, just off the outside corner.
Tough to lay off of that one with 2 strikes. Move it in just a little bit closer and you'll be fine.
Just down and in with that cutter. Boy, it's hard tonight. 90 miles an hour.
That's the one thing you were talking about, the split finger changeup that he will use now. He wanted to take a little bit of the miles per hour off of it.
Overbay rips it into the seats and back onto the field. Well, Morrow made an adjustment with that split grip on his changeup for the last 2 starts. This is the 3rd time he's done it. Boy, early on it looks like it's a very good move.
Just 2 walks, 15 strikeouts, and what he wanted to do, he felt like his changeup was a little bit too hard. He was throwing some changeups in the 87, 88 miles per hour range, which is not good. So he's taking a little bit off, and now he's at that 10 mile per hour difference between his average fastball, not the one where he reaches back and throws at 96 or 97, the 93, 94 mile an hour fastball that he will use for strike 1. Now that changeup is in the low 80s and the correct mile per hour difference that he was looking for.
2-2. Threw that one a little bit short of the mark. That might have been one of those changeups that he's getting used to. He has thrown that splitter before when he was a relief pitcher with the Mariners. He had used the split finger pitch, so it's really not that of a dramatic adjustment. Full count. Strike 3 call. Overbay didn't like it. Dan Iasonia brings up Overbay. He strikes out the side, gets McCutcheon, Walker, and Overbay.
sink his changeup, get over it. Just throws his slider and his curveball just to get over the plate for strikes, and will start to challenge inside with his fastball. When Clint Hurdle took over the Pittsburgh Pirates, one of the suggestions that he had for his starting pitcher was to pitch inside just a little bit more, and that'll open up the outside part for the right-handers, and it certainly has worked for him.
And Clint Hurdle knows it from a hitter's perspective. He was a fine hitter when he played and a great hitting instructor for the Rockies and the Texas Rangers. Second baseman Aaron Hill beginning things here in the second. Breaking ball down and in. This is the type of pitcher that a right-hand hitter really has to be patient against. You can see the average against just 218, and the approach from a right-handed hitter.
Well, if you go up there thinking everything's going to be around the plate and start swinging at everything, that's when you play right into his hand. He'll turn the ball over like that. He'll sink the ball away. One of the things that you can do against pitchers like this, if you're a right-handed batter and a left-handed pitcher, think about using the middle of the field. If you do that, he doesn't throw hard enough to throw it by you. You'll just react to the inner half, and you'll end up pulling the ball. Think about staying in the middle of the diamond, and that'll help you to stay on the ball.
Breaking ball hit to the shortstop, Ronnie Cedeno. Middle of this infield has been great for Clint Hurdle. Cedeno and Neil Walker, his second base partner, have done a great job giving the pitchers an awful lot of confidence.
Between them, they've committed 8 errors all season long, but a lot of those came earlier in the year. Cedeno, 62 games now. His last 62, he's only made 1 error. Very smooth out at shortstop. Will make every one of those simple plays.
6 of those 8 errors came in the month of April. And then they just committed 2 between them. Juan Rivera, the left fielder. First pitch strike.
Isn't that a simple formula? Get good starting pitching and play good defense. Don't beat yourself. And we've talked about the Minnesota Twins using that philosophy for years and years to win. Now the Pittsburgh Pirates have adopted that. They've gotten great starting pitching and outstanding defense. And they're climbing the charts. 2 games over 500, and it's almost July.
And that's the one thing when you look at where the Pirates are. They're only 3 games back. James McDonald's done a nice job in the starting rotation. Kevin Correa with 10 wins yesterday. One of 5 major league pitchers with 10 wins. Ball on the strike.
Well, it's certainly a division that is really up for grabs. The National League Central. There's a couple of teams that can win it.
5-game unders to start the season since they have played 7 games over 500. Clint Hurdle in his first year with the Pirates. Hit the bag. That's a fair ball down the left field line. Alex Presley over quickly, gets the ball back in a hurry, and Rivera has a single. Ball hit right on the third base bag. Chase Darno, the third baseman, wasn't quite sure where the ball was. He knew it hit the bag, but he didn't know where it went after that.
Pirates catch a break because this ball was hit hard enough that it was going to make it down into the corner, probably for extra bases. Right on top of the bag, and it shoots straight up in the air. The only guy with a play is the left fielder Presley. Gets it in very quickly. That ball doesn't hit the bag. That's down in the corner, and Rivera standing at second.
2 for sure. Jose Molina, the catcher. Molina hitting .311. Rips the first pitch. Third baseman Darno to second. Walker to first. Double play. So just like that, Paul Mahalan gets the play he wanted. Chase Darno starts a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. game.
The finisher, as I like to call him, is off to a good start. He's got a good fastball. He is putting it on the outside part of the plate. 9 strikeouts in his last start. 4 already through 2 innings today. That time, that good fastball puts away Lyle Overbay. Struck out the side in the second inning, and it's off to a good start.
Not unlike what he did a year ago. His first 10 starts, things were a little rocky. Got into his 11th start and really took off. Had a great second half to the season. Looks like he's poised to do the same here. Matt Diaz, a late addition to the lineup. Xavier Paul was in the original lineup. He was scratched with a tight hamstring. First pitch swinging. Rajai Davis backing up a few steps. 1 down.
On Rogers Sportsnet, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
A perfect night for baseball here at Rogers Center. Pirates' second game of the 3-game series. Shortstop Ronnie Cedeno looks at an outside fastball.
You know, anytime you can take a left-handed bat out of the lineup and put in a right-hander, that's advantage Brandon Morrow. He just has really dominated right-handed batters this season. 210 average. Most of his strikeouts versus the right-handers, and that slider really comes into play right there against the right-handed batters.
When he is throwing all his pitches over, he is practically unhittable. Get that fastball down in the zone. He throws it to both sides of the plate. Very effective. We haven't seen him use his curveball over his last 3 starts. Hasn't had to.
We were talking about it a little bit in last night's game. A good starting pitcher can use just 3 pitches and be fine. There are the splits for Morrow. 291 versus the lefty, 210 versus the righty. Just 1 home run given up this season versus a right-handed batter.
Ground ball to second. Hill comes after it. Cedeno's retired. Morrow's retired 8 straight.
But you don't want too many things on a pitcher's mind. You know, you start, having 4, 5, 6 different pitches, and then you get away from what you want to do.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. Take 3 pitches, command the strike zone on both sides of the plate, and that's all you need.
You'll be fine. You know, if you want to add something later on, there were a lot of pitchers who had so many pitches, I think it hurt them.
Kelvin Escobar.
Kelvin Escobar is a perfect example.
And they were all good pitches. Maybe Kyle Drabek. Same way. Kyle Drabek had great pitches, all quality pitches, but he couldn't command any of them, so it just proved to be worthless. Eric Fryer, minor league player. Fryer was acquired by the Pirates in a deal with the New York Yankees. The Yankees got Eric Hinsky. Fryer started out in Double-A Altoona. Hit .345 in 37 games. We mentioned the Pirates last night had used 7 catchers to start behind the plate, and they have been really troubled by injuries, but especially to the catching corps. Huge for a manager when you've got pretty good starting pitching. Jose Bautista on the money. First time through the order, the Pirates go down, 9 up, 9 down. Vancouver at beautiful Nat Bailey Stadium. Hall of Famer Roberto Alomar, Ed Sprague, Lloyd Mosby, and Dwayne Ward were on hand to help over 160 kids with some baseball instruction. The Blue Jays have also donated $10,000 worth of equipment to the Boys and Girls Club of Vancouver in an effort to help provide opportunities for them to play baseball. The Toronto Blue Jays are proud sponsors of amateur baseball across Canada. What a thrill for a young player to be standing next to Robbie Alomar getting some baseball tips.
Did you ever do that when you were a young kid like that?
No.
Get to be around big leaguers or ex-big leaguers?
No.
What a thrill that would be for those young kids.
The Honda Super Camps plan on visiting 31,000 kids this summer across Canada. What a great program. Rajay Davis hits it a mile high on the infield. Overbay is camped under. One down.
We're going to see some of those kids, I guarantee you, someday playing in the big leagues right here. That many kids playing baseball with that type of instruction, you know, that's going to light the fire inside them.
Well, you know what? The Blue Jays have re-energized their efforts across Canada over the last couple of years to try to spread their brand name from coast to coast and get involved. And Dwayne Ward was the one responsible for really pushing this. He met with the Blue Jays and wanted to establish or re-establish the relationship from coast to coast. And what a great way to do it.
And he's been trying that for years and years to get that started. Finally got it together, and he's fired up about it too.
Well, he's very passionate, and certainly he wants to get down to the grassroots, and he realizes that Canada was a great place for him during his playing days, and he wants to give something back. Yunel Escobar drills it to center field. Andrew McCutcheon makes the sliding catch. That ball might have been knuckling on him as Escobar hit it hard.
The thrill of racing returns with the Honda Indy Toronto. Catch all the adrenaline and excitement July 8th to 10th. Get your tickets at HondaIndyToronto.com.
2 outs in the third inning in this scoreless ball game. Right fielder Eric Thames. We mentioned Louis Rivera, who's a coaching assistant here. He spends his day on the field until the game starts, and he goes into the seats. But he was Thames' manager last year, and he's always got his input. It'll pop up over near the Blue Jay dugout, right on top of it, and out of play.
Managing him last year, Louis was telling me before the ball game, he worked a lot on his hitting. And his defense, he didn't work on it as much as the hitting. And now this year, he has realized in the big leagues, you have to be a complete player to stay here. You can't just drag that bat up there all the time. You've got to be able to help your team with the glove sometime.
Grounded off the end of the bat to second base. Walker makes the play. McCollum has a quick inning, a 1-2-3 third. We've played 3 here at Rogers Center. It's a scoreless ball game. still making some adjustments in the outfield, but a young player that's getting a very good test and an opportunity here with the Blue Jays.
And he's going to play every day. They're going to put him in the outfield for the most part, so he's got to help his ball club with the leather. There's Luis Rivera, his manager last year at New Hampshire, who was very instrumental in getting him here to the big leagues, and telling me today that he's really taking his defense very seriously.
I think more than ever, complete players are a necessity in the big leagues. There was a time, and not that long ago, where you could live with the bat. No longer the case.
And I guess in the American League a little bit more with the DH.
But you can only have one.
You can only have one, and
you got to have 3 outfielders.
Teams are wanting to become a little bit more flexible, if you will. So they want to be able to carry an extra pitcher. So you don't have that guy who is strictly the DH. You've got to be able to rotate guys in and out.
Alex Presley takes a strike. Presley struck out on a cutter down and in the first time up. Yeah, you have look around baseball and you can see more guys like Alex Presley who can run, play well in the outfield. Gives you some flexibility. Probably play center if they needed him to. But we see it all around the American League. The athlete is returning to the game.
The athlete is coming back. They can help your team with the power and the speed.
2-2. Fastball got away from Morrow. Bouncing ball and backs up. He'll shovel just in time to get Presley. Boy, some good footwork by Morrow. And Clint Hurdle's going to come out and plead the case that Presley beat the pitcher to the bag.
In the first inning, Garrett Jones hit a ball to Adam Lind, and Brandon Morrow was a little tardy getting over there, so Lind had to take it himself. This time he broke right away. And what you want to do as a pitcher is go to the line and then come up the line and run with the runner. Lind led him perfectly. Might have thrown him a changeup, so the ball got there a little late. You see Morrow go right to the line now. He's going to come up the line, and right before he got there, he's called out. There's the throw from Lind. It's not as firm as you would like, but you can see from that replay that he got his toe in there just before Presley got there.
He sure did. He just got that foot on the bag half a second before Presley. That ball's off Bautista's glove. Escobar will retrieve it. That's the first hit, first base runner for the Pirates. Chase d'Arnaud.
This ball is hit hard by d'Arnaud. Bautista, do or die, right off the turf. Upset with himself that he thought he could have had it. It's a reactionary position at third base, and he was talking about that the other day, how close you feel after coming in from the outfield.
Now think about it, you're 300 feet away in the outfield and about 95 feet away at third. Inside, snap throw, and goes back. d'Arnaud can run a little bit. We have seen that. He hasn't had an awful lot of chance to run. He's just been recalled from the minors, but he already has a steal. Molina's always got his head up looking for an opportunity to erase a base runner.
That's the best time to throw behind a runner at first base, when you've got the big left-handed batter up there shielding the catcher from the runner. And a pitch on the inside, it's almost automatic. Catchers will throw down to first base on a pitch inside.
Yeah, Morrow wasn't really set on throwing that pitch. He just kind of waited until Jones called timeout. He'll regroup. Another reason for a catcher to throw that ball, your momentum's going right toward the throw. Kind of takes you right into it.
Takes you right into it. And the runner gets a secondary lead, and he's hanging out there. He can't see you. He's blocked off by a big hitter, especially someone as big as Jones.
So Morrow has fallen behind Garrett Jones 2-0. Morrow retired the first 10 batters he faced here tonight. Chase Darno hit a ball off the glove of Jose Bautista, first hit of the ball game for Pittsburgh. Had 12 hits in the game last night. Andrew McCutchen, the cleanup batter, is on deck. All of a sudden, looks like Morrow's feeling for the strike zone as opposed to the way he was attacking it the first time through the order.
Attacking it is exactly right with his fastball, and it was down. Stay back just a little bit more on that rubber. Garrett Jones, look at that defense by the Blue Jays, really pinching the middle of the diamond.
Right at the second baseman, double play. No, he called him safe. Looked like the ball beat him. I don't know if Lynn missed the bag, but the ball certainly got there in time. A couple of bang bang calls at first.
It certainly did look like the throw beat him. You have to make sure Lynn bounces off at first base, reads it. Now he's got to get back, and we'll see if his foot is on the bag. It certainly looks like it is. This will give us a good look here. You've got to find an opening for that runner. It didn't even look like Darno got to the bag. It looked like his hand might have gone right onto the shoe of Lynn. But he is called safe by first base umpire Mike Estabrook.
Couple of close plays at first. Broken bat, grounder to third. Bautista across the diamond. McCutchen's retired. Pirates get their first hit. They strand the base runner. Bautista. Lynn, Encarnacion. When we come back, Bautista, 24 home runs. Lynn with 16 and Encarnacion with 5. Starting July 11th, the home run contest, 2011 Home Run Derby will take place on Monday night. Jose Bautista destined to be involved. Matt Kemp, Prince Fielder, a lot of great home run hitters. And then on the 12th, it'll be the All-Star game. That man's going to watch it right there, or that smallest fan, if you will. Bautista lays off the fastball up and away. Jose walked his first time up. Pops this one up on the infield. Third baseman Chase Darno. One out here in the fourth.
Jose is going to have to take that pitch right there and file it, because he's going to see that pitch again tonight. Definitely looked like a hitter's pitch. He just popped it up.
It's one of those pitches that looks so hittable, but it's a little bit out of the zone. Very tempting, tough to lay off.
Later in the game, he's going to throw him that pitch, and I bet you Bautista hits it next time. You see him shaking his head. He knows he should have got that one.
Write it down. Adam Lind had a single his first time up, went right back through the middle. Singled into center. There's a drive to right field. Garrett Jones back over his reach all the way up against the wall. Lind is headed for second. He'll stop there. He is swinging a hot bat. We told you the problems Paul Mahalem has against lefty hitters. It continues here tonight. Lind has 2 hits.
A higher average by 32 points. Lefties over the right-handers against Mahalem. This pitch right up. Looked like a cutter that was up about belt high for Lind, and if he could have got this ball elevated, he would have had his 17th home run. Some English on the ball, just kept it close enough to Jones. Reaches for it, ricochets off the wall and spins and stops right there. It would have been 3.
1 out. Lind in scoring position. Encarnacion pops it up, should be playable. Overbay into foul ground. Mahalem got Encarnacion on 1 pitch. If Lind had enough at bats to qualify, he'd be the 6th hitter in the American League. 321 average, but he missed almost a month with the back injury. Well, he's putting up the production, just doesn't have enough at bats to qualify.
He's almost halfway to 100 RBIs. Think about that. Listen. About a month.
Aaron Hill grounded out to shortstop. Ballman, good job by Fryer to smother it. Give you an idea about the at-bats. Lind is 90 bats shy of Escobar. Just so many at-bats behind that you have to have 3.2 at-bats for every team game to be considered for the league lead.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about 25 games that he missed earlier this season with that back problem.
Three and 0. The production has been remarkable, with Lind never really missing a beat after spending so much time on the DL. There's a strike right on the outside corner. Juan Rivera is on deck. Mahalem, as we mentioned, handles the righties, turns the ball over, down and away, good off-speed pitch. Right-handers are having problems.
By pitching inside, he has become a little less predictable to face.
Darno at third. Nice play. Throws offline, but Overbay stays with it. We've played 4 complete here. It's a scoreless game. Now it's time for a Jays Connected update. Here's Jamie and Greg from the Blackberry A learning area now. You can see the clock. 3:20 p.m. Torey Lavello is the outfield coach talking with the rookie Eric Thames, and it's a different story now than when you and I both came up to the big leagues for the first time.
Lots of teaching going on here. They get to the big leagues very quickly, so there's a lot going on that they're teaching them as they go along. Some of the things that Torey was telling him today, that hey, you know, he's got to believe in himself as a defensive player, that he can help the team that way. He needs him to focus when he is out on the field. And then to finish the play. Yesterday he just didn't finish that play. That ended up being a triple by the Pirates. But he feels like he can be a good major league outfielder. And Torey told me something about something he learned up here this year from Jose Bautista. He said Bautista plays the game, every ball that is hit out there, he feels like he's going to make it out somewhere. If he doesn't catch it, the guy tries to make a dash for second base, he's going to throw him out. And I think that's the attitude you have to play with when you're in the outfield. Every ball that's hit to me is going to be an out somewhere. And it's a great motto and a great way to play this game.
It sure is. And another thing to think about is you always have some place to be, no matter where the ball was hit. You should never be a spectator on the field. There's always some place you can be to be helpful to your ball club. Go over and back up the center fielder, play at first base, come into foul ground, back up in case of an overthrow. There's always some place you can be if you play with your head up.
If you start acting like a spectator and start watching, then you know you're doing something wrong.
Here's the play from last night's game that Matt Diaz hit a triple out into right field. Now watch, the ball bounces over Thames' head. He got too close to it, and then Corey Patterson magnified the situation. He got too close to Thames. Had he played back, the ball would have bounced over Thames. Patterson would have been there, and at least he would have kept Diaz from that triple.
The one thing you don't want to do as an outfielder is have indecision. You either go for it or you back off, and there was a little indecision there from Eric Thames. Play through the play. Go run right through it, and didn't work out for him.
Overbay swings and misses the first pitch. Neil Walker took the leadoff walk. Fifth inning of a scoreless game. Just 5 hits in the game, 1 for the Pirates, 4 for the Blue Jays. Downstairs. Eric Thames has that thumb taped up pretty significantly. Looks like he's also got a little sponge on that right hand. Kind of an interesting setup on his throwing hand.
Yeah, that's the point. It's on his throwing hand. Wouldn't be out there if he couldn't make those plays, but you don't see tape like that on fielders, generally speaking. He's a good athlete. He was telling me that Blue Jays asked him when he went down to AAA the first time to take some ground balls at first base, just in case. So he can play over there in an emergency also.
Well, you mentioned the value of versatility, and I think that's what everybody's thinking about. 1-2 to Overbay, off the plate inside. It'd be great if everybody had a 5-man rotation and pitched 7 innings every time. You could have 9-man pitching staffs, maybe even 10. But now everybody has 12 and sometimes 13.
A lot of specialization going out in the bullpen. Lefty specialist, 7th inning guy, closer. So you need that versatility with the rest of your ball club so you can carry that extra pitcher.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Lyle Overbay batting with nobody out here in the 5th. That cutter off the plate and up. 60 pitches for Morrow, where he was dealing. First 10 batters went down in order, and Chase Dono got a base hit off the glove of Jose Bautista at third. There goes the base runner. Base hit into right field. Thames will play the ball back into the infield as Neil Walker easily goes first to third. So the Pirates have something going. Just their second hit of the night. Overbay rips it into right.
Once he worked that count back to 3-2, he could guess fastball again, and that's exactly what he got, and ripped it into the right field hole. Overbay, that was a typical Lyle Overbay at bat right there. Fell behind 2 strikes, battled back to 3-2, and then got himself a base hit.
Morrow has the strikeout pitch. Witness the 4 strikeouts already, and here's where you need a strikeout. You don't want Matt Diaz to put the ball in play. First and third, nobody out. Diaz, a pretty good run producer, guy that understands how to hit. This is where you'd really like to pick up a strikeout.
He'll shorten it up right here just to get that run in. He'll think about the middle of the field or possibly going the other way. Track the ball as long as possible.
First pitch strike. Never go wrong with a first pitch strike.
That's something that Morrow did pretty regularly his last time out against the Cardinals. 16 out of the 27 batters he faced, he got ahead, strike 1.
You see Diaz inside out swing, just trying to get a ball to the outfield to guarantee get that run in from third.
Waiting and waiting to see it as long as possible. Numbers not very good with runners in scoring position this year. There's 10 RBIs and 212 average. But he's a veteran hitter, and he's a smart hitter too.
Sinaholo and 2. Ball buried in the dirt. Good job by Molina. That's what you got to do when you know that Morrow was going for that strikeout. He's going to try to really crank off a good breaking ball. You got to anticipate this.
Hold it just a little bit too long as he's trying to snap one off. And then he smothers that one, just keeps it in front of him.
Boy, Diaz hanging tough. Molina won that ball inside, and actually Morrow missed his spot, but Diaz got a piece of it.
Live for another pitch right here. It's almost like he's got breaking ball in the back of his mind, doesn't it?
Well, it's a good 2-strike approach, especially with a runner at third, less than 2 outs. Pretty good pitch, tough one to take. Again, looked like Molina was set up inside and the ball was down and away. Bautista coming home. Molina blocks the plate and tags out Walker. Boy, what a good play on both ends. Jose Bautista, like he'd never missed a beat. Coming from third. No chance at all for 2 on that play, so they go home and Molina threw up the roadblock.
And you better go through all those scenarios before the ball is even hit. If the ball is not hit hard enough for 2 and the runner takes off in a first and third situation, you're playing third base, your play's going home. And Bautista reads it and throws a good throw, makes a good throw to Molina, who knocks Walker off of his slide.
And that's just as good as a strikeout. The double play is still in order. You cut down a run at the plate. Bautista made a good throw to the inside of the baseline. Walker is tagged out. Still a scoreless ball game. Ronnie Cedeno.
Well, what's good about that play also, because they got it to home plate very quickly, it kept the double play in order. And now a ground ball to the infield. They have a chance to get out of it.
Cedeno late on that fastball. Ronnie Cedeno's been a hot hitter. And granted, not the first time tonight, but he is 11 for his last 24. Guy that can put the ball in play. You see Cedeno asking about whether or not that was a strike. Morrow and Molina going over their approach, how they're going to attack Cedeno. That's a base hit into center field. Overbay got a good jump. The throw from Rajai Davis is cut off. They've got the runner in a rundown. Matt Diaz between second and third. He is tagged out, and Cedeno moves to second. Diaz did a pretty good job of keeping that run down alive, but the Pirates have taken a 1-0 lead.
Well, they will score that run because the Blue Jays will trade it out for a run. Really no chance to get Overbay. He read it beautifully off the bat. Davis's throw is cut off by Lynn, and now he's got to get ahead of that runner and run him back to second. Once he releases the ball to Escobar, and now Diaz is going to third base, that allows Cedeno to get into scoring position. But a good job by Diaz to keep him in that rundown. Cedeno is credited with the RBI, and he's now in scoring position. As a first baseman, you've got to read where that runner is, where the throw is, and make that judgment if you have to cut that ball off.
Their catcher, Eric Fryer, swings at the first pitch. 2 outs, but the Pirates have taken a 1-0 lead. Mentioned Ronnie Cedeno has done a good job hitting over the last several games. Comes up with a big clutch hit against Manamar. Down in the order as well. Spread out the lineup. This is not a very threatening lineup that they throw at you, but it's worked very well.
You know, it's an interesting lineup. They'll make contact. They don't strike out a lot. They've got a couple of very talented hitters, I think, in McCutcheon and Walker. You've got some youngsters in Presley and Narno, veterans like Cedeno and Overbay. So it's an interesting match of players.
One thing Clint Hurdle's not afraid to do is use young players. And he put him right in the lineup. He called up Alex Presley and puts him right in the lineup, and he responds with his first major league home run. Fryer fouls it back. And sometimes you have to be creative just because you're forced into it. We mentioned the problems behind the plate. Ryan Domit, Chris Snyder, the regular catchers, are both out. Today I heard the fact that Snyder might make it back for the season. If the Pirates can stay close to the race. He had back surgery, and he might be able to come back and help them. This popped up, foul ground down the right side. Thames over, but it's into the seats.
Injuries have something to do with bringing up some young kids and throwing them in there. Jose Tabata, the regular left fielder who was swinging a hot bat, got injured just before this series. Pedro Alvarez, their highly touted third baseman, is on the disabled list.
Tabata is their leadoff guy. He's got 14 steals. It changes the dynamics of this lineup when he's hitting it out in the leadoff spot. Bounced foul. Take a look at the NL Central standings. Milwaukee on top. They lead the Cardinals by 2, but they're Pirates right there. And it's been a while before you could say that. We're closing in on the All-Star break, and they're 2 games over 500.
They haven't had a winning season since '92, I believe. But that's certainly a winnable division by those top 4 teams.
Got it. Good breaking ball. It took Morrow 27 pitches to get out of the 5th, but he minimizes the damage. Pirates have taken a 1-0 lead. Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. That'll be right before the baseball game. Hockey Central Free Agent Special. Right here on Rogers Sportsnet. Blue Jays have fallen behind here in the fifth. Rivera, Molina, and Davis, 7, 8, 9 in the order.
Rivera with a base hit his last time up. Could have been extra bases, but it hit right off the bag. Run down by Presley, the left fielder. Holland now pitching with the lead for the first time.
Now Holland's had an interesting split to his season. He's 3-4 at home with a 2.08 ERA. On the road, just 1-4, and his ERA closing in on 5. They have a big ballpark at home in Pittsburgh, and a lot of room in center and left. Plays into a left-hander's approach. High fly ball, not deep. 1 out.
The thrill of racing returns with the Honda Indy Toronto. Catch all the adrenaline and excitement July 8th to 10th. Get your tickets at HondaIndyToronto.com.
Catcher Jose Molina grounded into a inning-ending double play in the second. Very efficient outing for Palmer Holland to this point.
He comes into this game on a nice little roll. Fit right in between Correa and Karsten's right-handers that the Pirates have. Holland has won 3 of his last 4 games. Batting average against him under 200. His ERA 2.52 since May the 28th. So Blue Jays are going to have to figure out Mulholland tonight.
Molina hits it high, but it's not that deep. McCutcheon on the right gets there and makes the catch. 2 outs. Blue Jays have had their problems in the past against left-handed pitching, but that's not the case this year. When you look at the averages in the American League, Toronto's top of the heap.
Best in the American League, that 283 average, and everybody is into the act offensively for the Jays. It's just not a few right-handers here and there. Even the lefties have shown improvement this year. Adam Lynn comes to mind against the lefties. Much better.
Rajai Davis popped up in foul ground his first time up. 227 average. I'd love to be able to get Davis on base more frequently, and John Farrell addressed that in the pregame media scrum.
Yeah, he means so much to this team. Just the way that he can change the dynamics of the offense with his legs alone. He has been stuck on 18 stolen bases for a while now.
Pops this one back. Rajai Davis is a 281 career hitter. And you can see what a struggle it has been for him when his average sits at 227. There's a base hit to left field. That should go all the way to the wall. Davis around first. He's headed for second. He'll get there standing up. A 2-out double, his 11th of the season. Davis is in scoring position.
That's a good feeling right there. If you can get some production at the bottom of the lineup, get those legs, that speed on the bases. Davis takes a pitch and just rips it right by Darno, the third baseman. All the way against the wall with that great speed. No chance for Presley to throw him out.
That double snaps an 0 for 12 for Rajai Davis. You know, Escobar has hit the ball hard twice tonight. He's singled and lined out. Escobar thought that was upstairs, checking with the home plate umpire, Dan Iasonia. Escobar's hit .234 with runners in scoring position, but just 143 when there are 2 outs.
That's a surprise because he's been a good batter. takes a lot of pitches, has a very good on-base percentage.
What's it take for a guy to have a good average with runners in scoring position? What kind of approach works best?
I think the more simple approach at the plate. Shorten your swing up just a little bit. Don't try and do too much with the ball. I think the pressure is on the pitcher. You know, you start thinking about that guy out there at second base. Your approach should be, okay, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to just hit the ball where it's pitched, and good things will start happening for you.
The leaders in the American League, Matt Wieters, Miguel Cabrera, Victor Martinez. They're the top three with runners in scoring position.
Hitting with runners in scoring position is mindset for me. You got to be mentally tough, disciplined at the plate, and not be afraid to fail.
Let me give you an idea of what kind of hitters we're talking about. In the top 10 in the American League in that department, runners in scoring position, Miguel Cabrera is second. Victor Martinez is third. Adrian Gonzalez is fifth. Michael Young is sixth. Asdrubal Cabrera is seventh.
What do all of those hitters have in common?
Experienced, veteran, confident hitters, and they use the whole field.
That's exactly right.
And number 8, A-Rod.
Oh, he's okay.
Yeah. But they're all hitting 348 or higher with runners in scoring position.
They don't have holes in their swing. They don't have that one spot where you can go to get them out constantly.
2-2 will be 3-2. Experience plays a big factor in how well you do driving in runs. Obviously, the confidence that you can deliver. Full count, 2 outs. Tying run at second. Bouncing ball to short. Cedeno, sure hands on the money. Mahalam gets around the 2-out double. They've played 5 innings here. The Pirates have taken a 1-0 lead on a spectacular night in Toronto. Of the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. And here tonight, shortly after welcoming Tom Henke into the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. Great night to have a front row seat here at Rogers Center. Top of the order. Alex Presley, the left fielder. Presley's 25 years old. He came up last year at the end of the season and played in 19 games. So he is not one of the 7 Pirate players to make his major league debut this year. Pat mentioned how many young players have come up because of the various injuries.
He was one of the first players on the 40-man roster who was cut in spring training. Pirates know that he could hit. They wanted him to really go down there and work on his base running, and it seems to have worked. 18 for 22 in stolen bases while he was at Indianapolis in AAA this season. And after that injury to Jose Tabata, he doesn't look lost here. And we'll get a chance to watch him on the bases now.
Leadoff walk here in the 6th in this 1-0 game. Tomorrow, Brett Cecil will pitch in his return to the big leagues. He went 8-2 with 12 starts in AAA. You can call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234 for tickets. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. He'll be making his first start since April 20th against the New York Yankees, and he's anxious to get back and take his spot in this rotation. He'll be opposed by Jeff Karstens, who's off to a great start. 2.66 ERA for Karstens, former Yankee. Things have come together for him here in Pittsburgh. Chase Dorneau squares to bunt and bunts it out of play. Blue Jays were out practicing their bunting here early this afternoon, and I think it's something that they're going to start to do a lot more of. The fundamentals, and they made a note of watching the Cardinals in St. Louis during interleague play, how the Cardinals went about the fundamentals consistently every day they were there.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. They would do their outfield work. One day they came out and it was like a spring training day. You saw the infielders working on double plays. You saw pitchers covering first, outfielders working off the Iron Mike pitching machine, fly balls to the outfield.
Dorneau swinging away, takes a strike.
You're right. They did take notes, the Blue Jay coaches, and said that's something that everybody needs to do more of.
Yeah, it's really interesting. In Kansas City, we saw Ned Yost using the time to get his base runners running the bases before they did anything. One day they practiced balls in the dirt, getting jumps on balls in the dirt. When they were headed into that dirt in front of home plate, they would take off, go around the bases. Pretty good drill. 0-2. Cut on and missed. Dorneau can't get the bunt down and strikes out. 6 strikeouts now for Brendan Morrow.
Good spot right here. Down and away. Dorneau really doesn't have any chance on that one. That's why Clint Hurdle wanted to sacrifice that runner into scoring position. He knew it was going to be a tough matchup for him.
No, in that 2-hole, boy, you've got to be able to handle the bat. Move the runners along, take advantage of that leadoff walk. Dorneau couldn't do it this time. Garrett Jones 0 for 2.
Presley might try and steal now. I think that's what the Blue Jays are thinking about right here. Not a problem with his speed. He's got very good speed at first base.
Jones didn't want to, but went around. That breaking ball, and Jones is in a hole. Miles working his way through very deliberately. Made some good pitches to get Dorneau. Now he's ahead of Garrett Jones.
Leadoff walk in the 5th inning. Eventually cost him after a base hit. And a leadoff walk here in the 6th inning. Now he's trying to figure his way out of this inning.
Struck him out. Well located, down and away. Back-to-back strikeouts after the leadoff walk.
When in doubt, how about going to your bread and butter? Attack the outer half right there. And that's exactly what Brandon Morrow does. Fastball down and away to get Jones. That's strikeout number 7.
Andrew McCutcheon, the center fielder. McCutcheon made a fine throw in the first inning, throwing out Yunel Escobar, trying to stretch a single into a double. His 8th assists of the season.
Might have cost the Blue Jays a run too. That great play. Bautista walked and Lynn singled.
There goes the base runner. Molina's throw on the money. Looked like he slid right into the glove. Marty Foster at second base calls Presley safe.
From that angle and from what we saw, you're right. The throw was right there. He caught it. Presley, it looked like he slid right into his glove. We'll tell from the replay. Was the ball bobbled? No. Aaron Hill has a few questions. Why he's safe?
Looked like he was safe.
It looks like he was safe.
It was a short hop that Hill had to dig out. When he brings his glove up to catch the short hop, Presley slid under his glove. A little bit of a short hop, so he pulled that glove up and looked safe. Good job by Marty Foster. The throw sure looked like it beat Presley. We don't need replay. Umpires will get it right.
They got a tough job. I mean, that is so
Boy, do
quick,
they?
you know.
2 outs. High breaking ball. Ball on the strike. Well, you're right. They have so many variables. They've got to watch the throw from the catcher, follow the base runner into the bag, watch the foot, watch the catch, see the tag. All these things they have to decide in a split second.
And they can't be moving on that play. If they're moving, if their head's moving, they're not going to be able to see it. You've got to get into position, boom, boom, anticipate it, get there, and give yourself a good look at that play. When it first happened, it looked like he's out, right? We saw it from a couple of different angles, and it showed that he was safe.
Three and one. The scoreboard has it 3-1. We have it 2-2. There are 2 outs. 3-1 was the right call. 2 on, 2 outs. Folks, you can check out the Dudesons, 4 Finnish guys who take extreme comedy to new levels. The Dudesons, crazy humor and insane action, weeknights at 8:30 Eastern and Pacific on OLN. Oh, by the way, OLN is now available in HD. Two on, 2 outs. The Pirates lead it 1-0.
Going to have to make a pitch here. Neil Walker is an excellent RBI hitter. 51 RBIs. He's driven in 18 runs in his last 25 games. Forget about that 250 average. Take a look at those runs batted in. That is good production.
Morrow gets ahead with a breaking ball. High fastball got underneath that pitch and just pushed it up out of the strike zone. One nothing ball game here in the 6th. And after that same high fastball.
He's got a little extra zip to it, and it gets on you very quickly as Neil Walker finds out. Good hard fastball. He can go breaking ball now if he wants to. And after a couple of high fastballs, he can go breaking ball underneath his hands and inside.
1-2. Another fastball, 95, a little extra on the heater. Morrow has 7 strikeouts. Well, he's had 3 good starts in a row, holding the Pirates to just a single run on 3 hits. Walker, the switch hitter. Leads the National League second baseman in runs driven in. I got a piece of it. That's a good breaking ball. Outside part of the plate, and he spoiled it.
Bad hitters strike out on that pitch. Good hitters keep their at bat alive. And that's exactly what Walker did right there. Watch the break in the movement that Morrow gets on that breaking ball, and he just ticks it to keep that at bat alive. Now you got to throw a better one.
Walker's a .279 hitter as a left-handed batter, just .191 as a righty. 2 walks in the inning, 2 strikeouts. Buried that breaking ball, and Presley will move up. McCutchen didn't read it as well. He stays at first. The wild pitch. Molina did everything he could do. That ball was steered into the ground.
Breaking ball that far away from you as a catcher, you have no idea where this ball is going to bounce and ricochet off the dirt. So Molina just tries to use his chest protector to keep it in front of him. But it ricochets just off the dirt area. Heads up play by Presley to move up.
Had a great angle on the ball running from second base. As soon as it was in the dirt, he broke for third. McCutchen didn't read it as well. He's stuck at first. 2-2, 2 outs.
That might not be a bad thing because there's a hole now on that right side of the infield.
Struck him out. Ball in the dirt. Molina will make the throw to first, and Morrow gets a big strikeout to strand 2. He strikes out the side in the 6th. Eric Thames, Jose Bautista, Adam Lind when we come back. He's gone 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, walked just 1 batter, hadn't struck out a batter.
That's a typical type of outing for Mahalam. Put the ball in play, pitch to contact. You can see him really making an effort to pitch a little bit more inside, and that really opens up his game.
Eric Thames, 0 for 2 so far tonight. Drills this ball toward the gap in left center. This ball is hit a ton and gone. Opposite field, home run for Eric Thames, his first big league homer.
What a thrill to get your first big league home run in your home park. Now they got to get the ball back. Look at that smile. That tells it all.
His first big league homer ties the game at 1-1.
Young hitters, they want to come up here. They want to get that first one out of the way quickly. It took a while, but now he doesn't have to worry about that.
Jose Bautista drills it. This will go all the way to the wall in left. Bautista headed for second. Here's the throw, the slide. He is safe.
Couple of balls by the Blue Jays that have been hit extremely hard this inning. First Thames and now Bautista. Got his head down and he's thinking about two all the way. Hooks the ball down into the corner. Aggressively comes around first base. Presley is showing a very accurate arm as he one-hops the ball to Walker, the second baseman, but a nifty slide by Bautista to just get that hand in. Right at second base. Watch the fingers just get into the bag, and then he's able to hold it on second base for a double.
Marty Foster, the umpire, doing a good job moving around, watching the play unfold. You saw Bautista grab that base before Walker put the glove on his hand. Adam Lynn, 2 for 2 so far. Blue Jays have tied it, threatening to take the lead. Eric Thames has a lot of power to the opposite field, and it's testimony to just what a good young hitter he might be.
And we kept talking about his ability to hit extra base hits, hit the ball all over the ballpark, and this just shows you the type of bat speed that he has to be able to drive a ball off of a left-hander the other way over the 375 sign in left field.
Louis Rivera got to see Eric Thames hit his first home run. Rivera managed him last year in Double-A and had a lot of positive things to say about Eric Thames.
27 home runs, over 100 driven in last year. He knows him better than anybody.
Lynn doing a good job, continues to try to pull the ball to the right side, at least advancing Bautista. He wants to drive him in, no question about it.
Mulholland keeps throwing him soft stuff away, knowing that he's trying to pull the ball.
Got him out in front on that front foot, gets him to pop up. Cedeno, the shortstop. One out. They mentioned Mulholland has had his troubles with left-handed hitters. The home run by Thames, the first home run that Mulholland has given up to a left-handed batter all year long. They've hit 250 on him, which is very respectable, but they've been able to keep the ball in the ballpark. Blue Jays have now hit 5 home runs in the first 2 games of this series against the Pirates. Encarnacion hit 2 of them last night.
A couple of balls that were down in the strike zone. That's where his power is, where he can go down and extend through that ball.
Well, you were right on the money about Encarnacion seeing the ball very well.
See how he took that last pitch? His weight was back, his hands were back, and his head tracked that ball all the way into the catcher's glove. A lot of times you'll see guys out on that front foot when they're taking pitches.
Eric Thames just realizing that he's got a big league homer now. Edwin Encarnacion had a great stretch last year during interleague play out in Arizona against the Diamondbacks. He went 6 for 11 in the 3-game series, hit 5 home runs, and drove in 8. Bouncing ball to third. Bautista is out at second base. Got too far, and Darno alertly went to Walker, who had gone to the bag. Pretty subtle play by the Pirates defensively. Walker heads up. Darno gave him a look, and they get Bautista.
And it was a quick snap throw by Darno. From that replay, it looked like a high tag, and he might have been safe at second. Bautista always thinking about advancing to another base.
Two down now. Encarnacion, the fielder's choice. He's at first. Aaron Hill right under the glove of the third baseman Darno. Encarnacion will stop at second. Darno looked like he picked his head up at third base, and the ball went right under his glove.
Yeah, it looked like he got ahead of himself just a little bit, like he was going to try and throw it before he caught it. You got to look it right into your glove. He's thinking about catching and throwing the ball to second base to end the inning. Picks his glove up just a little bit. Error number 3 on the season for the young player for the Pirates.
Took one away and gives one back. Got Bautista at second with a heads-up play, and now he gives Rivera a chance with 2 outs. 1-1 ball game. Eric Thames has tied it up here in the 6th with his first big league homer.
Blue Jays have had a lot of runners on base tonight. 7 hits through 6 innings. An error, a walk. Just haven't been able to come up with that big base hit.
Rivera pops it up on the infield. Walker, the second baseman. Rivera's retired. The Blue Jays are gone in the 6th, but Eric Thames, his first big league home run off Paul Mahalam, an opposite field shot, has tied the game at 1. That it tied the game in the 6th.
Showing that opposite field power as he stays behind that ball. Looked like it hit right off the top of the wall. and right into the stands. First big league home run. He'll get that ball back hopefully, and he'll put Paul Mahalam in his book.
I love the home run trot. Very much like Scott Rowland.
Yeah.
Run around the bases quick. Don't want to draw attention to yourself. Good job. First career big league homer. Brandon Morrow back in a tie ball game. Overbay had a single and scored in the 5th. Morrow got off to a great start. He retired the first 10 Pirates he faced. Chase Dorneau, the first base runner, had a 1-out single in the 4th.
Had to pitch around a couple of leadoff walks the last 2 innings. Came back on fire last inning. Struck out the side after leadoff walk and the stolen base. 3 walks and 8 strikeouts for Morrow.
Morrow's season high in strikeouts came in his first game. He had 10 strikeouts against Tampa Bay in his season debut on the 23rd of April. Strike 3 call. Perfect pitch on the outside corner with the fastball. Make it 9 strikeouts.
Second time tonight that he has done that to Lyle Overbay. Caught him looking on a pitch on the outer half. Overbay doesn't think so. But watch it as Molina holds it right there. It's plenty high enough and certainly clipped the outside corner.
Last 5 outs have all been strikeouts.
He's not limping to the finish line, is he? An all-out sprint by Brandon Morrow.
Matt Diaz. Another good fastball. Morrow has been as high as 98. You see Dotel standing by ready in the pen. Diaz doesn't get cheated.
Just flicks that one off. Morrow's so fluid in his windup and his delivery from the mound. As a hitter, it almost seems like the ball, it's got that extra oomph to it halfway to the plate.
Oh, what a job of protecting the strike zone by Diaz. Diaz spent his last 5 seasons with the Braves. Had a stint with Kansas City, a couple of different stints with the Tampa Bay Rays. 0-2. Can't connect on that one. Morrow says try to hit that one. Down and away, number 10 for Brandon Morrow.
That was the difference between the previous pitch and the strikeout pitch. The one he fouled off was a little bit too high. That time, expand that strike zone. Throw it out of it, and Diaz strikes out. You don't have to always throw it over to the plate to get a strikeout.
Jumps ahead of Ronnie Cedeno. Cedeno picked up the only RBI for the Pirates. Chases that high fastball. He's in a hole 0-2. The last 6 outs have been strikeouts. 113 pitches. That's a season high for Morrow. Cedeno stays alive.
Still free and easy, 94 miles an hour. Looks like he can pitch all night, doesn't he?
Well, it's a perfect night to pitch, too. Kind of cool here at Rogers Center. Morrow looks strong as an ox. Bouncing ball behind second. No play. Cedeno has his second hit of the night. Escobar did a good job of taking the ground ball and just putting it in his pocket. Infield hit.
He is a pesky hitter. At least the first 2 games in this series. 2 strikes. He battles and battles and just punches the ball right back through the middle. Right over the head of Morrow. Right over the bag at second base.
Only the 4th hit for the Pirates tonight. Comes with 2 outs in the 7th. 1-1 ball game. Catcher Eric Fryer. We mentioned how free and easy Morrow is. Bruce Walton does a great job, and this might be his best project. Popped up. Thames in right. Moves underneath it, makes the catch. Brandon Morrow, a terrific start. He's tied his season high with 10 strikeouts. He's in a 1-1 ball game, middle of the 7th. And a very productive hitter right now. He's the MVP internationally. Jose Molina goes after the first pitch and pops it out of play. Brandon Morrow gets handshakes from Ricky Romero and the skipper John Farrell for a job well done. 7 strong innings, 10 strikeouts. He has now registered 91 strikeouts in 85 innings pitched.
Remarkable. Now let's get him a run right here so he can get the win.
High strike. Molina thought it was up. Well, Hallam's got that good breaking ball, boy. It gets right out over the plate like you're going to have a good swing at it, and then breaks right down to that back foot.
That's pitching inside to the right-hander, something that he is really made a conscious effort this year of doing a little bit more. You don't become so predictable, just looking for the ball out away from you.
Molina pops it behind second. Walker is there, first out of the inning.
The thrill of racing returns with the Honda Indy Toronto. Catch all the adrenaline and excitement July 8th to 10th. Get your tickets at HondaIndyToronto.com.
Brandon Morrow having a laugh with his pitching coach, and why not? Well, he's thrown good 3 straight solid starts for Morrow. Rajay Davis, check swing foul.
And just looking for some offense. There's something to get some runs. It's as a pitcher, all you can worry about and all you have control over is what you do.
Go out there and control the other team and just hope that your hitters get one more run than you give up.
I know Ricky Romero certainly pitched like an all-star.
7-7, but a very good ERA for Romero. Upstairs, John Farrell was talking about before the game about whether or not Ricky Romero should be an all-star, and he said if you look at all of his numbers outside of the wins, he is definitely an all-star.
ERA, strikeouts, whip, innings pitched.
Davis out in front.
All of those numbers, and he had a good reference point. He said if Felix Hernandez could win the Cy Young with the type of numbers, and they looked at all the numbers last year, Ricky Romero certainly is an all-star.
7th in the American League in earned run average. Romero is 10th in strikeouts. Ricky Romero certainly among the leaders in every category. He's 8th in innings pitched. Where he falls short, the wins, and you can't control that. He would tell you if he could hit every day like he did in St. Louis, he'd take care of it.
Easily 10 or 11 wins if he was hitting every day, right?
Eric Thames has tied it up here tonight with his first big league homer. He's not let that bat out of his sight ever since. Rajay Davis drills it. This is going to get down and split the outfielders and bounces out of play. That cost Davis a triple. He was flying around the bases when the ball bounced out of play.
That would have been fun to watch if that ball stays in the ballpark. Certainly you're thinking 3. This ball smoked by Davis into the gap in left center field, and watch where it hits. 1 and then out of the ballpark. But he was thinking 3 as soon as he hit it. He wasn't going to settle for second base. He knew that this one was going to get by McCutcheon, and he was flying. And he's got to turn around and go back.
Go ahead run at second with 1 out. Yunel Escobar.
You know what? He can steal third base just as easily, I think. Pirates know it. Walker right in at second base to try and keep him close.
Up the middle, under the glove. Davis got a bad read. Now he's getting waved, and he's going to score. Escobar ends up at second. Blue Jays have taken the lead. Great speed by Rajay Davis. Even though he broke back towards second, he's able to score. Escobar hit his head hard on that slide at second.
It was a very aggressive slide around second base, trying to get in there. George Poulos is going to come out along with John Farrell just to make sure everything is intact. First of all, the base hit. Davis, you see, he goes back, but he's going to be able to score. Watch the outfielders run into each other right there, and that's going to help Davis with that great speed score as he takes one quick look behind him. And then the slide into second base was very aggressive. I thought maybe an ankle, maybe his head, maybe his shoulder banging down onto that ground, but shaking up a little bit, but he's going to stay in the ball game.
Boy, a hard slide. Looked like he extends his shoulder and slammed that right shoulder into the ground. That appeared to be the point of concern, but he picks up the go-ahead RBI. He puts Brandon Morrow in position for a win. Second hit of the night for Escobar.
Some indecision in the outfield of who's going to take it. You saw Presley looking over for McCutcheon, but then when he realized he wasn't going to be able to get there to get the ball, Davis goes back. That's going to allow him to score. And Brian Butterfield is watching that whole play right in front of him as Davis scores the tie-breaking run. Nothing like speed on the bases that can make up runs in a hurry.
Eric Thames homered his last time up against Paul Mahalam. Now look, Escobar back at second. Escobar now with 28 RBI. Hard hit ball, but Overbay gloves it, and he'll beat Thames to the bag. Escobar moves up.
Overbay, an excellent fielder over at first base. He's going to take a hit away from Thames. Now, he does the right thing. Slides to get out of the way of that fielder who's coming right at him at the tag and the bag. Thames shows some energy, doesn't he, when he plays this game? And
you could hear the fans picking up on it as he was applauded for his efforts making his way back to the dugout. The boos because Bautista has been given the intentional pass. They'll throw him 4 wide ones. This worked for Clint Hurdle last night in the 7th inning. He loaded the bases, and Adam Lind hit a rocket that Overbay turned into a double play.
That almost backfired on him. But now they'll have a chance to have the left-on-left situation that they were looking for.
Kansas City, Yost put Bautista on to load the bases, and Adam Lind delivers the grand slam home run. And then just a little hesitation and look across the dugout. I'm here too. 2 hits tonight for Lind. First in third, 2 outs. The Jays have taken a 1-run lead. Well, you talk about somebody that's seeing the ball well right now. It's Adam Lind.
And he's staying right on it. And if there is a pitch that gets away from the catcher, watch Escobar get down that line at third base. Way off. His third baseman plays off the line also.
Breaking ball. Lind's in a hole. The intentional pass pays off. Lind strikes up. Mahalam gets out of the jam, but the Blue Jays have cashed in. Yunel Escobar, the RBI. Blue Jays have taken a 2-1 lead. Jason Frazier will come on to protect. in line for the win. Goes 7 strong innings and racks up 10 more strikeouts.
10 strikeouts. Had a good fastball tonight. Showed a good breaking ball. Pitched in and out of trouble in the 5th and 6th inning, but then reached back for a little bit extra. Struck out 5 of the last 6 outs recorded by Morrow were strikeouts. So he will give way now to Jason Frazier as he trots out of the bullpen and comes into this game. Frazier's been very good this season. 31 2/3 innings, just 24 hits given up. He has thrown strikes. He has used his fastball very effectively. He's used his changeup effectively. And he's really stymied all the batters that he has faced this season. Lefties against Frazier, hitting just 164 against him.
Jason last pitched on Monday night in Detroit. Came on and pitched the 7th inning. Had a good inning. Pitched 1 inning, gave up a hit. Rajay Davis scored the go-ahead run. He has a pair of doubles tonight. Top of the order. Presley Dorneau and Garrett Jones scheduled against Jason Frazier. And 2. Fans, tomorrow is the deadline for buying a flex pack for the 2011 season. The Blue Jays play some great opponents this summer, so don't miss out on the Phillies, the Yankees, or the Red Sox. Buy your flex packs today. Call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234, or you can log on to BlueJays.com, and you can be guaranteed to watch Eric Thames develop as a big leaguer in the second half of this season.
We might see some more of those young kids coming up in the second half, too.
Might see Jesse Litch return, maybe Travis Snyder very soon. It'd be a good sign to get Travis back up here and get him back on his feet in the big leagues. John Farrell anxious to really answer some questions in the second half of the season. Who might be part of the picture down the road? Brett Cecil's another guy we're going to see tomorrow. Get another look at him. Cecil hasn't pitched in the big league since April.
And sometime, I think, by August, we'll see Brett Laurie. His name we talked about a lot in April and May. So a lot of new faces will be making their way to Rogers Center this summer. It should be a lot of fun. I agree with you, though. They have to find out who can play and who can't.
They have a lot of questions you've answered this year. Probably first and foremost, Alex Anthopoulos has got to be thrilled with the way Adam Lind has played first base.
Yep. That was one of the things that they worked on and thought about in the wintertime. They had to find out about Lynn. They have been answered with an all-star first half from Adam Lynn.
16 homers, 49 RBI. And very comfortable at first. He's not even an issue anymore. You don't even talk about him at first. He's handled the balls in the dirt so well. He's comfortable now. Reading balls off the bat, determining whether he goes after him or turns him over to the second baseman.
A lot that goes into play in that position.
We'll be right back here tomorrow night. The pregame show begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Jays on Sportsnet. Pirates and Blue Jays will wrap up the series. Brent Cecil in his return from AAA. He went 8-2 down in AAA with Las Vegas. And he seems like he's confident and ready to go and resume his big league career. That matched up against the right-hander Jeff Karstens. Fly ball left field. Rivera makes the catch. One out here in the 8th. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update. Phillies will be here starting on Friday afternoon. Ricky Romero will pitch on Friday afternoon. Roy Halladay will pitch for the Phillies on Saturday. And that fella Cliff Lee, who's red hot right now, he'll wrap it up on Sunday.
What did he give up? 2 whole hits to the Red Sox?
5-0 in the month of June with an 0.21 ERA. Trying to make it 4 consecutive shutouts when he starts on Sunday. Third baseman Chase Darno has had a hit in 3 at-bats tonight. Darno and Eric Thames were college teammates at Pepperdine University in Malibu, California. Had a chance to talk to one another last night after Thames tripled. And their coach Steve Rodriguez was here in attendance, and tonight Thames has hit his first big league home run. Three and 0, 1 out. A 1-out walk on 4 pitches. Left-hander Mark Zepchinski is throwing in the bullpen. Garrett Jones is the scheduled batter.
Again, lefties haven't been a problem for Jason Frazier this year. Jason's held them to just 9 hits all season long. He has allowed a run in just 6 of his 34 games this year. So he's taken over, at least for now, that 8-inning setup role for John Farrell's team.
He's been so efficient. That's why the walk is kind of the exception. A 4-pitch walk has put the tying run on base. Garrett Jones has gone 0 for 3 tonight, including a strikeout his last time up. Frazier takes too much time for Jones, who asks for a timeout. Bouncing ball to first. Lynn goes to second. There's the force out. The return throw. Not in time. Boy, Lynn made another good play. Made a strong, accurate throw to second, but the return throw was just about a half step too late.
You've got to clear yourself as a first baseman and find a lane, because you're going to be throwing the ball around that runner. Lynn does that, throws to the inside to Escobar, and that good, strong arm. Let's see if the play at first is beat by Jones, and it certainly was, as Frazier animated with the umpire. Jones just beats it.
First base umpire Mike Estabrooks had a week's worth of close calls tonight at first.
And he's gotten them all right. Jason wanted that one.
So Jones is at first. There are 2 down. Cleanup batter Andrew McCutcheon, 0 for 2 with a walk. Home run swing. He homered in last night's game. That came in the 7th inning with 1 out against Luis Perez. Versatile player. He can hit leadoff for you. He can hit third, fourth, anywhere in the lineup.
He was their leadoff hitter at the beginning of the season. Now, with those 11 home runs, tied for 3rd among all National League center fielders. He's also got extra bases pop in that bat.
He's right up there with Matt Kemp in raw ability. Kemp leads the National League in home runs as a center fielder. He's got all the tools, much like McCutcheon. Kemp's a little rougher on the edges. He's a basketball player that has made a late conversion to baseball.
But raw. I mean, raw power at all fields. Good speed, good arm.
Two and 1. 2 outs here. Check that. It's a ball and a strike on McCutcheon. Pirates had a 1-0 lead. Eric Thames tied it up with a solo home run in the 6th, and the Blue Jays took the lead in the 7th. Bounced and blocked by Molina. Switch hitter Neil Walker is on deck. Sebczynski continues to throw down in the bullpen. We mentioned Walker, much better hitter as left-handed hitter than a right-handed hitter. That might lead John Farrell to make a pitching change with McCutchen to keep the inning alive.
And you've got the lefty Overbay after him, so we'll see how we play it out. The manager has to react to certain situations, but he has to be ready to make that move. If they get McCutchen and the score stays like this, they'll bring in the closer for the 9th inning, just in case Walker gets up there. He's got to have that lefty ready if he wants to use it.
2-2. 2 outs. Blue Jays lost 7-6 in last night's game. At one point they trailed 6-1. They stormed back late in the game on the strength of 4 home runs.
But it was a home run by McCutchen that ended up being the difference in the ball game last night. He homered off Luis Perez late, his 11th for the season.
There goes Jones. Ball is inside. Jones stopped at first base. Got him. For some reason, Garrett Jones broke for second, changed his mind. Molina was right on the money. And Frazier gets out of the inning. Jose Molina came out of the chute. Jones breaks, slip, stop. Molina throws a strike. Quick tag by Lynn. A base running mistake, and the Blue Jays hold on to a 1-run lead. Paul Mahalamo, the Pirates go 7 innings, scatters 9 hits. He's charged with 2 earned runs, but that has given the Blue Jays a 2-1 lead. He will leave after 98 pitches.
Very effective start, a couple of walks, 2 earned runs. Jose Bautista, one of those walks that was intentional in the 7th inning. Tim Wood now will take over the right-hander. Just 6 2/3 innings this season for Wood. He was selected from AAA on the 10th of this month, where he was the closer, at 13 saves while he was in the minor leagues.
Edwin Encarnacion tonight in the 5th spot in the order. Well, there's a good slider down and away in a good spot. Ball on the strike. Wood made his major league debut with the Marlins back on June 25th of '09 against the Baltimore Orioles. Bouncing ball, shortstop Cedeno. 1 out.
Number 2,
So Tim Wood in relief of Paul Mahalem. He's 28 years old. We mentioned he started with the Florida Marlins. He was a 44th round pick. Anytime you get these late round picks to make it to the big leagues, you've done a good job.
Yeah, and your scouts have done a good job forecasting if they are going to grow into their bodies or project what type of player they're going to be 5, sometimes 6 years into the future. Wood's done a good job. He's been scored upon just twice in his 11 games this year since being recalled the last 3 weeks or so.
Prior to this season, he had 44 games in the big leagues. They all came with the Florida Marlins. Ball on the strike, 1 out in the 8th. Ball is popped up high into shallow center field. 2 outs. Fans, a great way to spend your Canada Day weekend, beginning on Friday, coming out to Rogers Center to watch Ricky Romero take on the Philadelphia Phillies Friday, July 1st. The game will start at 1:07 p.m. You can enjoy live entertainment, games, and music outside Rogers Center starting at 10 a.m. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Blue Jays Canada Day t-shirt. Call the Jays at 416-341-1234. Log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. A great way to spend your Canada Day Friday. Ricky Romero, Brett Cecil talking things over. Corey Patterson has come off the bench to pinch hit. Goes after the first pitch, and this is playable. Foul ground. Chase Dorneau. Quick inning. Tim Wood comes out of the bullpen and does a great job. It's a 1-run game. Frank Francisco will come on to try to save it. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Connected, here's Martin Gaillard. Hall of Fame opens its doors in a new home in Calgary. To mark this historic occasion, Sportsnet Connected will broadcast live from Canada's new Shrine of Sports Heroes. Tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific on Rogers Sportsnet. Frank Francisco will come on to save the game. Francisco has really thrown the ball well of late. The ability to get that fastball over. He's got more velocity, and he seems to be pitching with a lot of confidence right now.
Using that fastball, really pitching off that fastball. It's up there 95, 96 miles an hour. For Frankie Wright, he's hitting 156. He isn't allowed an earned run in his last 6 outings. Corey Patterson, who pinch hit for Juan Rivera in the top of the inning, or excuse me, the bottom of the inning, stays in the game and will man left field here in the top of the 9th inning. Francisco, 3 saves, 5 hits, 10 strikeouts in his last 6 outings.
Last save came on Friday in St. Louis. Andrew McCutchen. First pitch, fastball at the knees. McCutchen was at the plate when Garrett Jones was picked off at first. Francisco has been much more confident with his fastball. Remember, he started out the season on the disabled list, had shoulder problems, and he's gotten better and better as the season's gone on.
Did not have a full spring training, so that tells you why he got off to a bit of a rough start this season.
Fly ball, deep right field. Eric Thames back on the warning track in front of the wall, makes the catch. 1 out.
Outfielders getting a little bit of a jump here because they are playing no doubles. McCutchen certainly has extra base power, as does Walker at overbase, so you got to play a little bit deeper. So no balls over your head. Thames gets a good jump on this ball, takes a good traction to it, and right in front of the 375 sign, hauls it in for the first out.
Overbay 1 for 6 against the Jays closer. Goes Overbay. Walker's first, the switch hitter Walker. 1 out here in the 9th.
Strike 1 by Francisco. He has pitched lefties tough by staying away from him with that good hard fastball.
Ball on the strike.
John Farrell was talking about Frank Francisco the other day, saying that this was the closer they envisioned when they made that trade with the Texas Rangers. Big and strong, the ability to get strikeouts and throw lots of strikes.
That good split finger pitch set up by the fastball early in the bat. Boy, his velocity's climbing steadily. 95 with that heater.
I like how he is really staying on top of that ball too, really driving it to Molina's glove. Jose wanted that ball down and away, and he just missed.
Breaking ball. Walker stays alive. Francisco looking for his 9th save. John Roush picked up 7 saves early in the season. 2-2. Downstairs. Walker stays alive, catches up to that 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Not like his last at bat when he kept fouling a lot of pitches off. That was against Brandon Morrow. Back in the 6th inning, Morrow eventually got him with the strikeout, but he had to work for it.
Another full count pitch to Walker. Bouncing ball. Then they'll go to the bag and get there. Pirates are down to their final out.
You have a couple of weapons for a closer. We've talked about Francisco's fastball tonight. A lot of confidence right there. That looked like a split finger fastball. His ability and his confidence to throw it 3-2 there to a good hitter.
Lyle Overbay trying to keep the hopes for the Pirates alive here. There's that splitter. Jumps out on top.
Tough pitch to control, especially when you throw that hard at 95 or 96 miles an hour, to lay off a little bit.
Beautiful 2-1 ball game here tonight at Rogers Center. Frank Francisco looking for his 9th save of the season.
Overbay's power is down and in.
Molina wouldn't let Francisco throw that pitch. Gave him a sign and then said, nope, you're not throwing that one. Whatever it was.
Looks like he wanted to stay away from him too. Now he's going inside.
Of course, Molina knows Overbay very well, having played with him last year and caught behind him when he was with the Yankees. So he didn't like that pitch that Francisco was set to throw.
And you mentioned that Overbay has faced him 6 times.
2-1, 2 outs. $15,632 on their feet.
He is humping that fastball. Again, Overbay's power is down and in. He's got 6 home runs this year. Keep the ball down, keep away from it.
Splitter fouled off at the plate. Well, you're right. Francisco has a lot of confidence in that splitter. Early in the season, it was kind of rolling up to the plate.
Right, just tumbling up there. You didn't have the action on the pitch that you see right now. He's got the curveball that he was throwing earlier too, but that one, he's kind of put that one away. It's basically been fastball spotted on the outside corner and that good splitter.
Breaking ball, he checked his swing. Appeal at third. Bill Wilkie says no swing, will go to a full count. That was a breaking ball, and Overbay checked in time.
Overbay is such a deliberate hitter, really works the count. It seems like every time he is at the plate, he works that count to 3-2.
Matt Diaz on deck. Overbay works the walk. The tying runs aboard with 2 outs in the ninth. Pinch runner at first base will take over for Overbay. Josh Harrison just recalled from the minor leagues.
Overbay with a good at bat, working that count to full and then taking that fastball right off the plate. Now a discussion of how they're going to pitch Diaz, and the reason the left side of the infield's in there, they want to know exactly what he's trying to do so they can position themselves accordingly.
Yeah, you get a half a step in one direction or another because you know of a pitch they're going to throw. You've got an advantage. Harrison had 19 steals a year ago in Double-A. Matt Diaz, 2 outs. First pitch strike. Bigger lead for Harrison at first. There he goes. Fouled out of play. He had a good jump. We go back to first as Diaz is in a hole 0-2.
Outfield shading Diaz to right field. I don't think he's going to be able to get around on a fastball from Francisco. All he is thinking about right now is that batter at the plate, figuring out how he wants to put him away.
Oh, 2 outs. Got a piece of it. Boy, that was a good fastball. Even had a little late movement down and in.
Just Diaz could not extend. Watch this ball just bore in on him. No stride, just using his hands right there with that 2-strike approach.
Another 0-2 pitch. There goes Harrison. No, he stopped. He took a step towards second and held up.
Each time that he has his right foot on that carpet, on the grass area, he has tried to steal.
Alex Presley had a stolen base tonight in the 6th. Harrison just won. He's got that foot on the turf. There he goes. Bouncing ball to short. This should do it. Escobar. Lynn, the Blue Jays win it. Frank Francisco picks up his 9th save in a 2-1 ball game. Yunel Escobar, the game-winning RBI. Eric Thames, a game-tying home run, his first home run in the big leagues. They have made Brandon Moore a winner.
That was the name of this game. I think the pitching staff started with Brandon Morrow, 7 sharp innings, just gave up the 1 run, had 10 punch-outs. And then Jason Frazier, a clean 8th inning. And then Francisco finishing it off, showing a good fastball. Thames with the home run, Escobar with the game winner. Blue Jays win another 1-run ball game.
We'll be back tomorrow night. It'll be the rubber match. Brett Cecil will go to the mound. Now it's time for Jays Connected.